Tony Hawkins has got a podcast. I hope he's better at this than he is washing the kit because he was fucking useless.
Right, I'm ready. 20.
20. It is 20.
20!
That's a number.
That's a number, that. Any relevance, Tony, for the prime numbers?
No relevance to prime numbers. It's a fairly nondescript.
I'm quite surprised we've
number.
done 20 episodes of this and it's only a couple of weeks before Christmas.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? But then I suppose you played 23 league games.
We had a week off as well.
And a week off, yeah. Enjoyed
good.
that.
Yeah, so I did enjoy it. What did you do that day?
Can't remember.
No, I done some gardening.
I know I was working till late, wasn't I? Anyway,
Oh no good that, is it?
Yeah, so... Yeah.
Oh, last Wednesday I watched the Rangers Aberdeen game. Didn't end well.
Rangers Aberdeen. No, I don't. No.
No, you don't.
I don't remember what I did half an hour ago.
Ah well, now do I. I watched The Crown. I'm watching that.
So following your recommendation, someone else has said the same.
Oh, it's good, Tony. I've been watching it.
Yeah.
I've nearly finished it, to be quite honest.
For the same reasons I haven't looked at it. Someone said I wouldn't have watched it normally, but a lot of people have
wouldn't
said.
either.
Yeah, so
right, watch The Crown. I've finished Breaking Bad. You'll be happy to hear.
Hey!
Finished that.
Did you watch El Camino?
I've watched El Camino and I really enjoyed it as well. I thought it was alright.
Yeah.
I'm going to even do a massive spoiler now. I'm glad it all ended well for Jesse.
Yeah, so
I was pleased for him.
Not a lot of people survived the entire series.
I was pleased for old Jesse, I really was.
Yeah, and now you know that he killed his brother-in-law as well.
Who's that?
Copper.
Oh, bloody yeah, I knew that. I knew he'd done that. Yeah. Bloody idiot he is. Anyway.
He was on to him.
He knew him, Tony. He said, hang on a second, he said.
So we've had a week off and we haven't lost a game.
That's good, isn't it? Maybe we should have more time off.
We haven't lost the game. We've won one and drawn one.
Oh, I wasn't happy with that. Anyway, that's the second match to talk about.
So did you go to the Coventry game?
Well, Tony, do you think I went into it?
I don't think you did.
No, did you?
Of course I did.
Oh, really?
Of course I did.
I've seen old matey's goal. Oh well, I watched the highlights and both matches to do some preparation for this.
That was good.
That was last Tuesday, wasn't it?
That was a week Tuesday ago. Yeah,
quite a good turnout. I was surprised with it.
It was decent. I mean, there was 544 Coventry fans.
Was that really?
There's over 1,000. Over 1,000 Dons fans.
That's good for that shit competition because one cares about that.
And the weather wasn't great. It wasn't warm. And again, although there was something riding on it, no one would have bothered if we'd have gone out. But that was a decent performance. Strong team, which Mark Robbins was offended by.
Yeah, he was not happy.
He wasn't happy.
That was
putting out a strong team
was one of the most
putting effort in,
bizarre things I've ever read about. But like anything.
The thing is moaning that they played on the Sunday, then they had to play on the Tuesday.
Yep.
Right. So if it was the other way round, I don't know if they asked us to move it to the Wednesday or not. And technically, I suppose the EFL could have made us move it if they thought it was worth it. But
it would have been better for us to even another day of
exactly. If it was the other way round, they wouldn't have changed anyway. So yeah, that made me smile that This is why managers should always be interviewed straight after the game because they do their best work, don't they? They say what they mean.
What did he say? He said it was unfair that they put a good team out. That wasn't what he
said.
Yeah. That was the
basically, I know they haven't won a game for a while, but did they really need to put a strong team out? And it was good. I enjoyed it. A clean sheet as well.
I am so disconnected from that competition. Does that mean that they've been knocked out? We knocked them out.
We're now
so
in the knockout stages, and now we move on to the big one.
So we are like Liverpool now.
Newport County away.
We're like Liverpool now, aren't we, in the Champions League?
Well, we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah. I'm pleased for us.
Yeah. So, it was a 2-0 win. Performance was decent. They're pretty much everybody played quite well.
2-0's good because this clean sheet thing's been a massive palaver, hasn't it? To be quite honest. And
although Coventry came close to scoring a few times,
not close enough, Tony.
It was.
I'm drinking beer.
It was pleasing. It was pleasing.
Yeah,
nice. Drinking out of a jam jar. You got any glasses?
No. This is my special jam jar. Look.
That's.
Yes, you get it with Southern Comfort. It's supposed to be like hooch, isn't it?
Really?
It's cloudy.
What, are you now officially a redneck?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, you've been taken in, haven't you? You've been taken in.
I have been, yeah. Marketing man's dream.
You are.
I'll buy that.
You are. I bet you put ice in your cider, didn't you?
I do.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know what you're supposed to do.
That was invented by that firm.
Wetherspoons?
No.
Oh.
No, the cider people. See?
Magners?
Yeah.
Ah.
There was an advert. And then all of a sudden, everybody's putting ice in their cider. I'm like,
supposed
why
to
are you
be.
putting ice in your cider?
I thought that's what you're supposed
Because
to
it's
do.
to make it cold. We'll get a fucking cold one. The cold come cold. Don't start me on ice in cider.
You don't
It
drink
really
cider
winds
in
me
the
up.
winter, Tony. It's a summer drink.
Especially not in winter.
No.
And especially not full of a glass of full of for fuck.
Anyway, back to the
Anyway,
match.
yeah, football. Yeah, so it was all good. We certainly played well right across the pitch. The playing out from the back, I want to talk about that.
I do want to
actually.
talk about that. That's one of my notes.
And something Mr. Martin said about that.
We need to be better at it. Did he say
Well, it's generally quite terrifying when we do it. But at the same time...
that? Can I just interject?
Yeah.
I am in the minority here, but I'm all for that.
I am absolutely.
I think it's
And I'll tell you
how
why.
we should
I'll tell
be
you why in a little bit. And we can discuss that and we can get both
We'll
our
make that a
opinions.
section, Tony.
Yeah, we'll make that a section.
A section.
A portion, if
I'm
you
checking
will.
this again. I'm shit scared now. I'm not
Still
pressing
flashing.
Yes.
Yeah, still recording. And then we went on to Doncaster. Oh, we didn't. We didn't play a game. Then we were. Or did we? No, we didn't. We did. We played the Tuesday, and then we played Doncaster this Saturday. Anyway.
Saturday.
So neither of us went. So we can't
didn't.
comment.
We didn't. No. I was listening though on the wireless.
Listen to it.
I was cross.
I have to say, the first half, I sort of drifted off because
I had
Luke doesn't engage well sometimes. I have to say.
I've got to say something about Luke, like Ashmead. What I would like him to do is not be as excited when the other guys are doing stuff. No, I'm being genuinely serious here, and I'm not a man that is serious very often, as everyone that knows me will know. But this getting really overexcited when the opposition are doing something, that's got to stop, because it piques my interest. Yeah. And I'm thinking, oh, hang on a minute. No, mate, when the other team are attacking, just go, oh, no, the other team are attacking. But when we're attacking, you want them to be all enthusiastic. It's just I'm nitpicking, Tony. I'm sorry, I'm nitpicking there.
Yeah, well, I was... Yeah,
let's get him on next week.
Yeah, let's get him in here. I don't remember much about the first half commentary, if I'm honest. But second half, it seemed to liven up a bit. Obviously, we scored a very nice goal.
I've seen it.
And it would appear that we were probably deserving of, at the very least, a point from what I can tell.
Oh, right. That's a good point that you've said that. Because I did say to my son, if someone had said to us before kick-off, would you be happy with a point here? You would have said, bitten their hand off for a point away, wouldn't you really?
You would have done. I mean, they're not setting the world alight.
No, they're not. But still, I mean, we're in a shit state.
But they would have been looking at that and thinking, here's a bit of light relief.
Yeah.
Haven't they? Here's a week off. Yeah, so no, they're not doing great, but then they're not third from bottom in League One
they're not,
either.
No.
They're 14th, not on a great one.
I believe we have had a match report sent on.
We have had a match report. Shall we read it?
So we're going to read it while I drink this cloudy beer.
He's going to drink a cloudy beer. I'm going to find this email from Miles. Thank you, Miles.
We had another one on the concrete.
I think we've got another one, which I'll grab from the concrete roundabout.
Yeah.
Miles said, "Hi there."
Hello.
Hi, Miles. Here is a report of the Doncaster game. If you want to use it for your podcast,
we do.
We do. I've been to 3 games before this: Peterborough at home, Fleetwood away, and Port Vale in the FA Cup.
Now, can I
at home.
stop you there?
Well, does that what?
Has
3
that
games
guy's been to 3 games?
Whatever.
Ever?
No, I think he means recently. He must mean recently.
He must do. I hope.
Anyway, he was at Doncaster.
Well, he was. We were. We're slagging him off, but he was there.
All 3 awful performances. So it's a surprise to me how well we played, especially in the first half, with a lot of attacking intent and winning the ball high up the pitch. But I may be overselling it due to how dire the other 3 games I've been to were, which is a fair point, because anything is better than eating
I've
shit.
not played Peterborough away yet, so we could only have seen Peterborough at home, couldn't we?
Well, he said Peterborough at home, yeah. Yeah, so maybe that's this season, games he's seen this season. Doncaster looked like a decent side as well, carving out some opportunities themselves in the first half. An absolute worldie from Alex Gilby had me worried, as we actually had an opportunity for 3 points. Sadly, it wasn't to be. Although they didn't have too many clear-cut chances, Doncaster put the pressure on, and sure enough, a corner was our undoing. Nichols was definitely blocked off. We'll come to that as well.
Handball.
Well, that I'd heard handball as well, but I don't know.
He said handball on the wireless straight away.
Yeah, but apparently it wasn't. It was Lee being
right,
muscled out of it. But looking at the highlights, he should have been stronger. Doncaster had 2 disallowed goals for offside. The second one shown on Sky Sports definitely shows it was the correct decision. We didn't lose, and the performance is certainly something to build on. I'd say Gilby was man of the match, though I thought Regan Paul put in a good shift as well. Hope this is useful. Apologies for the length of it. Nothing wrong with the length. It was about perfect, actually, Miles. Thank you very much. So grab the one off the concrete roundabout then while we're there. So that Lee Nichols thing, I've watched it over and over. He says it could have been stronger. Yes and no, but apparently I did, for one of the first times ever, look at the... listen to the manager's interview after the game.
I always watch those fellas.
Because I want to see what the new manager's got to say, or how he's going to say it, and if he's worth watching in the future.
He's good at saying it.
Yeah. He said that the players and he had already said to the referee, you've got to watch them with our goalie because they're basically...
That shows how much attention I pay to when I do watch these interviews, because I don't remember him saying that.
Yeah, apparently they'd already brought it to the referee's attention even before half time. But
they give him a bit of a dig?
Yeah,
well,
saying keep an eye on them with our goalkeeper.
Well.
This one from Ted. All right, Ted.
Ted
May not be his real name.
No, probably not.
Could be though. Just got back. Really thought we would hang on for the win today, and I think we would have done if the ref had spotted their player blocking Lee to stop him getting the ball from the corner. Once, because it did go in at that near post, didn't it?
It did.
Once again, I thought we played well. Obviously, after we scored, they came at us and we had to defend, but we seemed to be coping well enough. Possibly the draw was a fair result, but at least the whole team put a shift in. A minimum in my book. Even here in Boateng and his magical go slow boots had an okay game. Still, the more I see of Martin's team and the way they play, the more I think we'll be okay. Nice to see Sam come on for a cameo as well. Can't wait for the Oxford game next week. I believe that they played a game today. And
they played
Sam Nombe, Cambridge United.
Was it not yesterday?
Was it yesterday? Was it?
It might have been today. I don't know. It was one
Sam
day.
Nombe played an hour or something. So
60 minutes he played.
Promising.
Which is indeed an hour.
Yeah, 60 minutes and or an hour. Take your pick. Take your pick. So that blocking off. I mean, it was clear cut from what I could tell, and you can tell referees these things, and in my mind, they would either do one or two things. They'll completely overcook it, or they'll just completely ignore what you're saying because then you'd be right. Done, So I'm just...
It's frustrating.
It is. I mean, that's
even more frustrating.
Other than that.
Yeah. It's very frustrating from a personal point of view because I didn't realise that Wimbledon had got a draw until about 3 hours after the final whistle. Because my lad, he told me, and I goes, no, they won. He goes, no, it was a draw. They get a last minute equaliser.
Well, the thing is that
how annoying is that? There
is now a gap to make up.
There is.
It's not just about winning a couple of games.
No.
You've got to win a couple of games and get over and above the teams that are above you at this moment in time. I mean, we've got half a season to do it.
I'm still of the opinion that we'll stay up, even though I think it was Toby Locke did say on the radio, or it was either Toby or it was Luke, said that at this point where we stood on Saturday, we had less points
than when we got relegated.
And that's a worry, Tony.
I think it was quite a big difference in points.
It is. It's not just like a point or 2 or 3 points. It's a big difference.
I mean, we've ended up where we are a lot earlier than.
Yeah.
I would say none of us expected it, but we're there very early on. Considering that we didn't have a terrible start to the season,
I think we're incredibly lucky. Like Bury and Bolton are in this shit. I think we would be nailed on to go down. Personally, I mean, fuck them. I'm glad from a Don's point of view.
I mean, if Bury were still playing, would they be?
Yeah, I mean, you don't know.
They could be.
You have no idea, have you?
You can't imagine they'd be doing brilliantly with, basically not having any players for a start.
I mean, Bolton have done well since they've.
Yes, they have.
Since they've got rid of their kids and got a proper
we've
team in.
We've had that conversation about the the implications for
Not
other
great,
teams,
is it,
that,
for us?
particularly
Yeah.
Doncaster.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah.
But now I can't see us going down.
No, I'm still of the opinion we'll stay up. I mean,
I think-
come back to me in March and see how we feel then. But
Yeah.
as we're sitting here on the day before the general election,
Yep.
I'm thinking that still think we've got enough in us. I think
What I find
once he gets like Reece Healy back,
Yeah.
you know, Sam's already back, I reckon we're not going to be fine, and I reckon it'll be tight, but I still think we'll stay up.
Well, I think the key for me, and it's one player and one player only,
Oh, I'm excited too.
is Mason.
Yeah, he's been he's been a
we
revelation.
did
that guy
speak
really
about
has,
we did speak about his ability to score a goal.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
that
still checking
natural
this, I'm
goal
sure.
scory type thing. I think he could be. You know, we say it every season, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this 20 goal a season striker.
Yeah.
We had it last season.
We had one last season, eh?
We had Chucks as well, thrown in there as well.
The one we had last season, though, Tony, was a bit shit. Don't forget that.
Yeah, that's true. It's rubbish, 22 goals.
Fucking idiot.
22 goals, eh? Fucking rubbish. But no, I do believe that if you have got a player that can score you 20 to 25 goals a season, I mean, these are the sort of players that keep the likes of Port Vale up. And I mean, Southend have got theirs, but he's not firing. But they can make the difference between relegation and mid-table comfort or mediocrity, depending on how you look at it.
I mean, recently he's a very, very good footballer. He just is. I don't know what he's like at this level, because obviously we didn't have him at this level. But you're hoping that he's, you know... I mean, Sam was good when he was here, but we're all right when we had them. So you're thinking... I mean, what are they saying... You know, Reece Healy's 2 or 3 weeks off. Did I read that? Is that right?
Something like that. Early January.
I mean, Sam's already back. So,
yeah. Sam plus...
Hopefully.
I would hope that there'd be room for Sam and Mason, because Mason looks more like a number 10.
He does.
He looks like a
Well,
number 10.
let me ask you this question. Who would you rather have? Who would you rather play, Sam or Mason? That's a good question, isn't it, Tony? Go on. I'm saying Mason.
It is. I mean, I'd also say Sam is not necessarily... No, he's more of a striker in the traditional sense than Mason, I would say. Yeah. In their style of play. Mason is more of a... He's definitely more of a number 10.
He's more of a... Who's that idiot that's the manager of Wales at the minute?
Ryan Giggs.
Yeah, he's more of that kind of player.
Yeah. I just think he's got a really good eye for goal. He finds good positions.
He does.
I mean, the goal he scored against Coventry...
It was a good... Very good.
I mean, the ball through to him was ridiculous. Yeah. But how long have we been waiting? You know, Tony's always screaming about these through balls and the diags and all that sort of thing. And then we get an absolutely perfect one. McGrandle's, the weight on it was perfect. I mean, there's 9 times out of 10, I didn't think he was going to score from that position.
No.
I didn't think he was going to, because the keeper stayed quite big, stayed on his feet, and I thought the only way he's going to score here is to dink it over the keeper. But he just hit it straight as a die, and it went in the off the post.
A good goal. I'm pleased.
And it was a fantastic finish. And again, that's really important, because can you think of another player since the likes of Bennick? I don't even think Griggy would have necessarily.
That wasn't Griggy's game. That was Griggy's game. Was
I think Bennick probably might have finished that off, but there's not that many players that are good enough to be able to do that, because your options are so limited and you've got to be so accurate. I just think he could be the absolute key this season to us scoring enough goals to keep us up. And I say this saying this because I don't think we'll go down. But you know, if Bolton do get their asses into gear and AFC pull off another miracle,
let's be blunt, that's not going to happen.
Oh, let's hope not. Yeah. But I mean, Southend are long gone, aren't they?
Yeah.
You've got that. You always get that 1 or 2 teams who absolutely shit the bed in the second half of the season and tumble down the league.
Let's hope that's not us. I can't see it being us. It's not going to be us.
Wickham will almost certainly bottle it, end up in the playoffs and lose.
Is that your prediction? Even though they didn't play last weekend and they're still top of the league
by 5 points or something. Yeah. Right. I'm putting my money where my mouth is now. Wickham will not get automatic
Which
promotion.
one of us sitting in this shade today
said that they were going
to get relegated?
They will not get automatically promoted. They may not even finish in the playoffs, but I'm going to say that they'll will
finish 6th.
They will shit the bed.
Yeah.
They will finish probably in the playoffs, maybe even 3rd.
He's a bit of a prick,
and they will lose in the playoffs. There, I've said it.
Matey.
I don't mind Wickham, and I don't even mind him. To be fair.
I don't like him with these stupid.
It is stupid. It is getting stupid.
They're
now.
getting relegated, Tony. I've predicted it before a ball was even kicked, Tony.
They would struggle. They would struggle to get relegated from this point. I'd have to say,
I would think they'd have to go some.
I think it's just the law of the jungle. They're not strong enough. They haven't got a good enough squad.
You don't think?
Or enough cover to keep that going to the end of the season. It's a shame, but it's just the way football is.
Yes.
There you go. They won't get promoted, is what I'm saying.
I tell you who's struggling. I found out today. Sunderland are mid-table, aren't they?
Their fans are not happy.
No wonder.
They are not happy in the slightest. They've gone from mildly sort of indifferent to
pick someone, Tony, who they're spectacularly unhappy with. Go on.
What, as in a player?
It's someone you've mentioned about 2 seconds ago.
Hey, who?
Will Grigg.
Oh yeah.
They've paid £4 million for him, and
he hasn't been doing the business, is he? See, he should never have walked away. He should never have walked away when he had the opportunity to play Championship football and keep us in the Championship. But no, he decided not to.
Yeah, he said no.
So, where does that leave us then? So yeah, a draw at Doncaster.
Which is in the grand scheme of things,
of our season so far,
is a good result.
Decent.
It is. I mean, it's a good result.
But by the same token, we still haven't won a game since September.
Not one that matters, no.
Not one that matters, no. League game. We haven't won the league game since September. And it's going to happen, just by the law of chances. I mean, it could happen Saturday. It's unlikely.
Well,
but
I was reading today that they have got, I think it's 9 or 10.
They've got 10 players out and 7 of them are midfielders, apparently.
Oh, well, I wonder why that is, Tony.
Not that Cole likes a midfielder or winger.
No, he doesn't like wingers.
Talking of midfielders you like,
go on.
Guess who I saw at the game, the Coventry game?
Midfielders that I would like.
What date was that game?
I can't remember.
Was that
Tuesday?
Was that the 3rd of December?
Oh, it wasn't up Summerville, was it?
No, but the forgotten goal from that game.
Oh, was it?
Oh, Stevie Glee.
Was he really
there? Stevie Glee.
Oh, good on.
Yeah, he's up and running.
Which is, of course, arguably a much better goal.
It was absolute. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, yes, it was one of the goals of the season, but
a bit like Harry Kane's goals on Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not interested in
your goals,
mate.
This bloke's just run from his own 18-yard line.
From one
you
end
can
of the
fuck off, mate. Overhead kick from 30 yards.
Well, that's good he's turned up. I'm pleased for him.
Yeah,
mate.
So I don't think he's got a club because he was playing in Scotland. He was playing in Scotland.
Well, he wasn't playing if it was in Scotland, was he?
Well, no, he was running about a bit.
I didn't realise he was up there. Well, I
yeah.
thought he was at Birmingham.
He got a lengthy injury. He's now back running, and he said he's back to pretty much to almost full training. He looked very thin.
Did he?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can only imagine that's because he's been doing a lot of.
He's not working. He can't afford food.
No, probably not. But yeah, he did look thin. But yeah, nothing's changed. He was miserable as fuck.
Was he not smile no?
As per, yeah. Especially when I sent him to the wrong place to pick his tickets up.
Oh no.
When I saw him coming back the other way, I thought, oh shit! So I just turned the other way and pretended I didn't see him.
Did you see someone? Oh, hello.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's that thing I need. Oh, it's on my phone. Hello, on me. Yeah, I'm on my phone. Yeah, I can't see anybody. Talk. No, carry on.
I do that at work all the time. Oh, hello.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll say it was a good crowd, that Coventry game. The Doncaster was a decent result. Let's talk about playing it around at the back.
Well, like I said earlier on in this very here podcast, I'm a fan of that, but it is a worry when it's not done very well.
All right, well, here's a scenario for you.
Oh, go on.
This isn't dissimilar to... This is how I've seen it. So, Russell Martin has said, this is the way that I want them to play.
Which I'm all for. It's an identity that we need. Yeah,
and he added to that, the end.
Did he really?
So that's basically, yeah. That's the way I want them to play. Cheers, lads. See you later. And that's pretty much all he said. So I'm all for. So one of the great things about football and that great Liverpool team particularly the one in the 80s, was what people like to refer to as greater than the sum of its parts. We're talking about a team that contained Barry Venison and various other basically non-entities as superstar footballers. But they played away and they played a system that would appear to have been way above their talent level.
As individuals, but as a collective.
But as a collective. So Russell Martin's got him doing this, and it was genuinely terrifying.
It was
at the Rotherham game.
Yeah, it really was.
Coventry not as terrifying, but Coventry then started pushing 4 men onto us when we started doing it.
Yeah.
Lee had a couple of nightmare moments,
like he always does.
One where he very, very, very nearly gave it away, and the bloke would have had the freedom of the penalty area to tap it in. But, like you say, I'm all for that. If he wants to make those players better than they are, as a unit, I'm all for that, and that's the football I want to watch, and I'm not going to complain. It's going to happen. I still think it's going to happen that we are going to give a goal away as a result of that.
I would have thought so, yeah.
Because
we're not good enough at it yet.
Not good enough at it yet. No. But if they keep doing it, and they keep doing it, and it means that we keep the ball, which is important.
Ask yourself how good we were in the first half at doing it against Rotherham.
Ironically, I thought we were actually better at it than we were against Coventry. Yeah. It was when we got out of our own third, we were spectacularly good.
When it all broke down.
Yeah, no, in first half when we got out of our first third, that was great. But it was it was. I'm happy with what he said, and he said this is how we're going to play. Firstly, the fans need to accept that and embrace it and encourage the players.
They won't, because the guy that sits 3 or 4 rows behind me, and indeed you, is the same guy that shouts, "Fucking kick it up!" He's that bloke.
And then when we do that 3 or 4 times in a row, he's saying, "Keep the ball!"
What you doing? He's that guy.
Yeah. So no, I'm all for it, and I think that it's very important. And I do see it. I mean, you see it at different levels, and I've always said if you've got a manager who can make players that aren't probably as good as the football you're trying to play, and you can get them to play it, then they're probably going to be a decent manager for the future as well. Probably as a loss to us, but
do you think? I've always been of the opinion that he's using us as a stepping stone to greater things.
Why wouldn't you though?
No, you wouldn't. Obviously, I mean, you're not going to get anywhere.
No, if you want to get into the Premier League or the Championship as a manager,
win the Champions League. That's been done.
Yeah.
And the FA Cup.
I mean, it's
same bloke, Tony. Who name him? Go on,
who?
name him. Managed us, won the Champions League and the FA Cup.
Paul Ince.
No.
Managed us.
Managed us, and then went on to manage a team that won the Champions League.
Roberto Di Matteo.
Yes. So it can be done, Tony.
Yeah, then got sacked.
He did.
Yeah.
After he won the FA Cup. Was it Champions League? I've won it,
but there you can go too early. Martin Allen.
Yeah, exactly.
Paul Ince, the Blackburn.
Classic. Yeah, classic.
Yeah. There's no rush. I mean, it's exactly the same for managers as it is for players. You can go too early.
You can.
And you've got to have. I mean,
which is what.
And it doesn't matter.
Those guys you've just said.
It doesn't matter how good a player you were. And then Paul Ince is probably the best example of any of that type.
Now?
Yeah, because he was an absolute disaster at Blackburn, but he was massively respected as a player, hugely talented, won everything going, but he didn't make the step from League One to League Two, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were in League Two. Got us promoted, fucked off to the Premier League.
To the Premier League. Far too soon. So,
anyway, bollocks down.
Yeah, but no, I'm going to go along with it, and it will, by default, it means we're going to watch better football.
Well, did you see a Monday Night Football on Sky this week?
No.
They had Rafa Benitez in the studio.
Oh yeah.
And they were going on about Dave Martin.
Yeah.
And Rafa, he signed him for Liverpool, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he was saying, and it was Jamie Carragher was the co-host, so obviously it was a Liverpool loving.
Love fucking hell.
And they were saying about Dave, and Rafa said, "Oh yeah, we signed him because he was really good at playing the ball out from his feet."
Yeah.
And the first thing I thought was, every time he kicked that fucking ball out, it went out. That's the first thing I thought. Every time he kicked it out, the ball went out, didn't it? Like he kicked it to Louis, and I'd say 50% of the time it went out, didn't it?
Incorrect.
Go on, how many?
80% of the time it was successful.
Right, well...
Louis got his head on it.
So that's why Rafa Benitez is an in-demand
But he was
manager.
good at that, and he was one of those players, and it's so rare to see it in a keeper, who positioned himself and received the ball in such... And the other thing is that the players playing the ball back to the keeper, and I noticed this more against Coventry than Rotherham, but there were quite a few times. Joe Walsh is guilty of this. When a goalkeeper, if the goalkeeper is going to be part of that system of keeping the ball and playing it around at the back, he needs to be comfortable receiving the ball. And Dave always positioned himself in good ways so that he had the angles out wide, but he also had space ahead of him to get the ball up and over if he did need to hoof it. If you play that ball 5 yards too wide and onto his wrong foot, he's got a couple of more things to worry about. He's thinking, shit, this is on my left foot.
Dave
couldn't kick with his left foot.
Dave is an infinitely better goalkeeper than Lee is.
I'd say in that respect, he's much better.
He's much better all over. There's no aspect of Dave's game that's worse than what Lee's
I always
is.
thought Dave was if Dave was a couple of inches taller.
He's playing in the Premier League.
Oh, he is now.
He's crying and everything.
Did he play on Saturday? Do you know?
He played on Monday.
Was it Monday? Sorry,
they were 1-0 up and then they lost 3-1.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was fucking crying then. Did you see Louis' interview?
Yeah, fucking man up.
It's funny that one. It was funny. I thought, brilliant, mate. What a brilliant thing to say.
That is, that's one thing you definitely won't see Louis doing. That's for sure. Yeah, go and play for his boyhood. What was his boyhood?
Well,
I don't know.
Playing his boyhood club, isn't he?
Yeah, I suppose he is. Yeah, he was born there. So, but no, I mean, Lee's saved us points this season, although we haven't lost. We haven't won a game for a very long time. He's at least saved us goals.
He's made some great saves.
More than a few.
He even made
More
some
than
good saves on Saturday just gone, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good keeper. I'm not saying he's not a good keeper. What I'm saying is that to play out from the back, I think we're going to need a bit more of a go at it, if that makes any sense.
I think practice makes perfect, as they say.
We're going to have to practice it
perfect.
more than we are at the
And I'm
minute.
sure they do every single day in training. But you do need, the players have to have at least the bare basics.
I think if that's your
talent
game,
to be able to do it,
you have to be supremely confident in your goalkeeper is going to be able to do it, to be quite honest. It's a big ask for a goalkeeper, that it really is.
Yeah.
Because basically goalkeepers, they pick it up, they hold it to their chest, they fall on the ground for 5 seconds to get up. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
He's got the whole quick play thing. He's dropped the... I mean, we spoke about how...
I think
Nielsen
last year,
let
what
him
you were
fall
saying,
on the ball and all that.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
stopped
last
that.
year, even when we were in League 2 under bloody Tisdale, it seemed to take him a long time to start distributing the ball. He's not doing that under...
It's a much quicker game, and we do try and that not just Lee getting the ball, but also throw-ins. We're looking to take them quickly, although sometimes it does take us to complete.
Can I just interject?
Complete it, but
You see George Baldock's goal?
I haven't seen it in real time.
Have you not seen it?
I've only seen it in slow
This has
motion.
just come to me.
Because that's
it in
his,
real time.
That's his little trick. I mean, it's
cracking.
the George Baldock.
Are you chuffed to bits for him? Because I
Of
was
course
thinking
I am.
at the
Of
weekend.
course I am. Well, he's the one player I've been wrong about since I said the lad will never play anywhere higher than League One if he's lucky.
Well, I was thinking at the weekend, you got Delhi, banging him in for Spurs. What a transformation. You've got George, and you've got Dave, and you think, all 3 of those players played in that team that night. We beat Man United.
Yeah,
that was brilliant. I was really happy with that.
It's the poor man's. It's the poor man's class of '92, isn't it?
Brilliant, really. It's just, but no one ever brings that up. I mean, no one ever says, "Oh, these 3 blokes. Look at this. They all came from the same team, and they played that night that Milton Keynes Dons beat Man United." So, I'm bringing it up now.
Yeah. No, it is. I mean, you could look at that, and things might have gone differently if Griggy had stayed. I genuinely think that. I feel very strongly about the whole Grigg situation, and also the way that people think it happened. Because, as I said, they're blaming the chairman and the manager at the time for not signing him, but there's a lot more to it than that. And Griggy had a lot more to say in that than just annoys me a little bit. But no, I mean that team. I mean, some of them. Just trying to think of his name. Danny Green.
Danny Green. He went to Luton.
He played in that game.
He went and he was good that night.
He was very good that night.
He was really good that night. He played a fantastic pass in the lead up to the last goal. It was a cracking pass. He played it to Reeves, and then Reeves did that run. Everyone's going, "Oh, Reeves is going to score." He then squares it off to Bennett.
Did they look the wrong way?
Yeah, he did. I loved that. Yeah. So there's Danny Green. I don't even know where he is now.
I did see so. I don't know where he is actually, but I think he's still playing. But I don't think he's playing at any great level.
No, he's not in the Football League.
Bodes is obviously now playing for Stowmarket Town. Is it?
United.
My abiding memory from the Man United game with him was he's just sat on the bed. He's been subbed and he sat next to me to my right, and all I can hear in my ear is, "What is going on? What just happened? It's just like utter disbelief from my right hand side. And I was saying, "Bodes, enjoy the game, mate. Enjoy it. What just happened, Tone? Just fucking enjoy the game." And he's actually quite annoyed. He's untied his. Obviously, he didn't want to come off.
No, good.
Yeah, you beaten. I don't actually know what the score was at the time, but he's literally. And then I think he must have been there when one of the other goals went in. Because he jumped up, but he didn't actually celebrate. He just stood there again like this, like, "What the fuck?" on his face, and that was crazy. But you're right. I mean, that Dave, who'd have said that at his age he would have been playing in the Premiership?
Well, that time, like last season when he played for Millwall, and did that horrendous mistake.
Yeah.
Remember that? You just think to yourself, "You're done now, mate." But no, the guy's gone on to play in the Premiership. I mean, admittedly, West Ham's first choice keeper is an absolute fucking disaster. Whatever his name is, he's fucking useless.
No, I mean, you genuinely couldn't happen to a nicer player.
No, good luck to him.
He is.
But what I'm saying is, it says a lot for someone
really
that we're going to go on and talk about in a minute, which is your mate Robbo. It says a lot for that guy that those three players. I mean, he's a different kettle of fish, isn't he, Daly?
Yeah.
I would think he's a different.
Yeah, he was always destined for great things. That was always going to happen.
But I mean, George Baldock, you would never have thought.
He's a grafter. He's an absolute grafter.
Well, you ask yourself this: between the two Baldock brothers, between Sam and George, which one would you have said would have gone on to greater things?
I've already said it. I've admitted it. I was completely wrong about George. I mean, the glad he was sent up right, and that game, that Manchester United game, was 2015, was it? No, it's 2014.
Was it really?
It was August 2014 or September 2014.
No, it was August.
There's a reason I know that, but I can't tell you.
It was August.
It was August 2014, right?
Yeah.
That's 5 years ago.
Oh my God.
5 years ago, right? So Dave was still young.
He was, yeah.
Delhi was what?
A child.
Delhi was 7.
Mm-hmm.
George can't have been more than 19, 20. And they're playing the game of their lives and beating Manchester United 4-0 and getting promoted all within a space of a couple of years.
Amazing, really. It's an amazing thing when you think about it.
Again, I think that comes back, and I didn't want to mention it because I have been accused of going on about that season, the promotion season, for too long. But the perfect storm, etc. But at the same time, you had a group of players there. There were some very talented players there, obviously. And we got their loans right with Griggy and Bennett.
A perfect storm, I've said it before.
Yeah, Lewis Baker and so on. But you look at the back four, Jordan spent the majority of that season at right back.
He was in the paper the other day.
Was he? Is he still at Ipswich?
No, he's with his wife. It's quite famous, isn't she?
She is, yes.
I don't know what it was. They went to some awards thing and I said, "Oh, let's have a look at from Mountain Kids."
It's very well read.
It said, "And her footballing husband."
Yeah, he's a lovely fellow, he was. The only player that actually bought me a Christmas present.
He never did he?
Yeah, and my staff. Me and my staff bought
good for him.
an actual Christmas
present.
What
did he get you?
A bottle of wine.
Well, it was red.
Yeah, it was red actually.
Oh well, he's my favourite now.
Yeah, he's a lovely fella.
Right, let's talk
greater
about
than the sum of its parts. That team, in my opinion, again took those players to play a particular way, and when they got it right, and I think he's doing the same at Oxford. He's had that terrible 2 years, and now it's all coming back together. So, what's he going to do? Is he going to let his ego get in the way on Saturday, or is he just going to say? I reckon is what he's going to say. He's going to come out before the game,
all right, go,
and he's going to say,
"It's good to be back."
I don't expect too much because we've got so many injuries.
He'll say it's good to be back here.
Yeah, he'll preempt the fact that he's got so many injuries, and fair enough.
He'll say this. Out. I'm not fat. I've got a padded jacket on because he's fucking massive. You see that picture? God Almighty, he's put the weight on.
He seems to have got taller as well. I don't know.
Oh no, broader.
He was at the game as well last week.
Was he? What was he saying? Have you got any pies?
No, I didn't talk to him.
You didn't talk to him?
No.
I thought he was your best mate.
Well, I'm assuming that he was going to sit with Stephen Gleeson.
Ah, right.
So, and as I didn't want to see Stephen Gleeson after the whole ticket debacle, I thought I could text Carl and see where he's sitting. But
you'll speak to him on Saturday, won't you?
I'll be there, mate. I'll be there. I'll be expected to have a pint with him after the game.
Oh, good luck to him.
Like when he came here with Charlton. But yeah, go on then. So, what do you think? I mean,
what do I think?
You know, his frame of mind is always he's never going to lose. No. He won't go into the game. He won't go into the game thinking anything other than they're going to win. All these injury problems that they've apparently got, I don't know.
I don't know if that's right or if that's
But they still got that Fosu fella, haven't they? The Fosu. I was really pleased for him that they got him from Charlton. I genuinely was surprised that he went there.
I mean, I read in the paper today, if that's 9 first-team players, that leaves you with fucking 2. That leaves you with 2, players. That can't be
and
right.
The rest of the squad.
It's not. That's not.
They've got an emergency loan in for on the keeper, I think.
Have they?
Yeah, because their first choice keeper is out.
Yeah.
So presumably they're playing their sub keeper.
That's not a good sign. That.
I don't know the full ins and outs of it.
I mean, I've not followed them, to be quite honest. I mean, I'm vaguely interested because he's there, but I don't. I mean, I'm not interested in them, to be quite honest. I'm not interested.
The only thing that I'm, as I say, I'm not surprised that. What has surprised me is that the Oxford didn't sack him. Didn't sack him when they were going through that bad patch, particularly last season. Then they went on that mad run and didn't finish anywhere of any consequence.
I wouldn't like to see the guy getting sacked, but I wouldn't like to see him win Saturday.
No, but it was nice for them to keep giving him the chance to prove what he was saying.
I mean, there are another team, Tony, that are playing way above where they should be, in my opinion. They shouldn't be where they are. I mean, that's all credit to him, really. I mean, they shouldn't be like.
Well, it's not just that, but they're playing Man City in the League Cup next week. Which is another good thing for us, because you're thinking to yourself, are those players that he's going to field on Saturday got one eye on that game? Well, I definitely would have.
You would do, wouldn't you? I mean, you'd be an idiot. No professional football player.
They're still in the FA Cup, but they didn't exactly get a plum draw, did they? I
can't think.
It's either Exeter or someone else. It's not a great draw. Well, it's not a big money maker for them. But
having said that, what we're going to do on Saturday, I couldn't even begin to envisage what.
I would imagine that team-wise, it will be very similar to what we played at Doncaster, and
with hopefully Sam on the bench.
Who was suspended?
What, for us?
Yeah. The defender who got sent off against Rotherham for the push.
Oh, bloody! Oh, not Gilby. Oh, God's sake! I know who you mean.
Yeah, him. Anyway, him.
Is he still out?
I'm not sure because the leasing.com doesn't count, does it?
Oh,
if you get sent off in that, you can't play in that. If you get sent off because he. Oh, anyway. So, Alan, go on. Give us a prediction.
I would be sat here right now if we come away with a 1-0 or a 2-1 to us. I'll be happy as Larry with that. I'd be happier with a 2-1, obviously.
I'm going 2-0, obviously.
Yeah.
I think if we can start with clean sheets on
what
this,
we need to start doing
run that we need to go on.
What we need to start doing is cutting out this late goal shit, because it happened on Saturday and it was quite irritating. It really was. It was another late goal.
And again, another set piece goal.
Yeah, we've got to cut that shit out.
Yeah, and stupid mistakes like the first goal against Rotherham.
Yeah.
Again, we can say that's you're talking about confidence in a defender with the goalkeeper.
Oh, I'm tired, I'm. Oh, sorry.
If you're going to put a goalkeeper, again, one thing that Dave Martin was very good at was knowing where to be to receive a ball, and players will want to know that if they're going to play that ball, I'm not saying they should ever play it blind because you shouldn't, but if you're going to play a blind ball back to your goalkeeper, your goalkeeper's got to think to himself, there is a possibility that this fucking idiot Anthony Kay could be trying to pass this back to me whilst kicking it 30 foot in the air and aiming for our top corner, which is more than possible. But no, I mean, if there is a good time to play Oxford when they're on this run, it could be with all these injuries they've got. I don't know, but again, you can't beat confidence. You can't beat a good winning streak. I mean, they haven't lost. I think it's like 13 or 14 games. Other than that leasing.com that they got knocked out.
They're quite high up, aren't they? They're not.
They're 6th, aren't they, or 7th?
Yeah, I think they're 6th.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but
they're up there anyway. They had a worse start than us, that's for sure.
You say what you like about him, but I mean, he is our greatest manager in our short history. He just is. I mean, he is.
I mean, unless someone else comes along and stays for 6.5 years
and does what
gets us promoted, beats Man United final, it's going to be very difficult to beat that.
I mean, Russell Martin is a bloke that played for Rangers last year, and now he's playing for us.
I know he's managing us.
Now he's managing. So
crazy.
What can you say? You know, I mean, it is what it is.
But that's football, isn't it? Football's just it's just mental when you think that of the things that can happen.
It's, I mean, what can you say?
Talking of which, 79th minute, is it, or 72nd minute? Jim Smith, ex-manager of Oxford.
Oh yeah, we should remember. We should mention that.
Yeah.
I think it's 79th minute, isn't it?
79. I know.
It's either the 76th or the 79th
something
minute.
Like that.
This game, we're having a round of applause for Jim Smith, who was manager of Oxford and about 19 other clubs as well.
Yeah, QPR amongst others.
Derby.
So,
Good that Derby was.
Yeah. One of those managers never really went big time, but
I was quite
always
surprised
good for
when I found out how old he was. I thought he was, I had that awkward discussion with a guy at work this week. Like, this bloke, it was his birthday on Sunday, and I thought he was like my age or a little bit older.
Yeah.
It turns out he's 50.
Oh dear.
I said, that's you fucking liar. He goes, what? I said, you're not 50. I said, well, anyway, he wasn't happy, Tony. He was not best pleased. I said, Jesus, mate, you must have had a hell of a paper around you. So so we're doing that. So do that.
Do that.
Clap.
Yes, please do that. So other than that, I think we're done.
I think we're done. Can't think of anything else.
If you've got any thoughts or anything you want to say, mkdonsradioshow@gmail.com. It's all gone very quiet on that front. Maybe we were always of the opinion that people moaned more or contacted us more when we were doing badly. Maybe it's the other way around. So we go on a run. Some of you wankers might actually start sending the stuff through. But please do. We don't care what it is, and we will laugh at you if we think you're wrong, and you invariably probably will be. But send it anyway.
Also, I know this is bolting the stable door after the horses run away, but we are now on Spotify. So if that floats your boat, listen to us on that.
Yes, and that is big time Spotify.
That's good. I was chuffed with that. I was pleased with the Spotify business.
Yeah.
So we're on Spotify. So listen to us on that.
Yeah. Right. We're done.
We're done. Right, we're done. See you
next week.
Ta-da.